The first thing you do when you come to a Build-A-Bear is you have to pick out which furry friend that you want. What are you gonna pick today?
Say we might do our bunnies.
So a bunny?
I think so.
Oh, this one's better. I agree. This one's so much better.
Nearly 3 decades after Build-A-Bear Workshop first opened, the company is banking more revenue than ever.
Say little bunny sleeping till it's nearly noon.
It's growing at an unlikely time as toy makers are facing big hits from tariffs.
Oh, he knows what to do.
Oh yeah.
The key to Build-A-Bear's success isn't just what you take home.
And we can just put that in.
Yep.
You want to give your friend a big hug? Beautiful! Yay!
Its strategy focuses on the workshop itself and growing it beyond the brick-and-mortar store.
I'm gonna pick out this Choco Cat because this is one I've really been wanting. This is $38, so I'm gonna add this one to my bag.
We are definitely in the crosshairs of the nostalgia economy. Hi, welcome. Welcome to Build-A-Bear.
Build-A-Bear opened in 1997 as an interactive retail destination, mostly in shopping malls.
It's not competing with a generic plush. It's competing with an experience, with going to the theater, with going to a theme park. That's really where their competition is.
For customers, the magic isn't just in the stuffing. It's in the personalization.
If you want to give it a smell.
Tu veux bubblegum?
You like bubblegum? Yeah. Good choice. Step on that pedal for me whenever you're ready. Does that feel good? Yeah, you like how much stuffing's inside?
Est-ce que c'est bon? Est-ce qu'il y a ça?
Yeah. Perfect.
At the end of the day, if you buy a plush that is something else, there's a distance to it.
Close your eyes tight and make a great big wish.
But the whole process of the Build-A-Bear starts from the very beginning, that the child is engaged and connected and a participant in the creation.
So you guys can go ahead and pick out any clothes you want.
They created more and more purchase occasions with different products, with smaller products, with collectibles, with outfits. So it was really an opportunity to expand that relationship.
But it's taken the company time to turn that relationship into profit. The decline of malls, combined with a recession, put it at risk of bankruptcy until a leadership change in 2013.
While it is true that when I arrived at Build-A-Bear, 20% of our stores were unprofitable, and that is unsustainable, 80% were working. And we looked into the very details down to every single line. What about this store makes this work? And so we started to create a very distinct strategy to go to hospitality locations like Great Wolf Lodge or Carnival Cruise Line, the tourist locations. We have 3 different models of stores in terms of business models and numerous models of footprints. Small footprints inside of Girl Scout stores to large footprints inside of FAO Schwartz and Rockefeller Plaza.
The company was still finding its footing and had just updated its digital storefront when the pandemic hit.
We had what was one of our largest unit selling items ever that just made the boat, which was Baby Yoda. And we decided to not, at the last minute, when we saw some of this happening, to not ship Baby Yoda out to the stores, where it ultimately would have been trapped. We kept it at the warehouse and put together an entirely new system and process. It was overwhelmingly an older consumer that was purchasing this, like teens and adults.
So you guys can kind of see him peeking in his little window right here.
Oh, look at Baby Yoda!
So it's pretty cool. I think it's awesome that, Build-A-Bear still kind of tags that along, even though, you're not able to go into the store and do this yourself.
Our teen and adult and collectors over-index online to this day.
This is my Cake Pop cow, definitely one of my favorites in my collection. I already collect certain plushies like Squishmallows. I had a pretty large Build-A-Bear collection as a child, so I've always loved the brand. It's always been in the back of my head that I want to rebuild my Build-A-Bear collection. I will never get rid of this. I will have this for life. My kids will have this Build-A-Bear one day.
The kidult has been a huge phenomenon in the toy industry, certainly in the last 12 years or so. We still have that desire as humans to collect things. And whereas you used to collect porcelain figures or coins or stamps or other dolls, people are now collecting what would traditionally have been seen as just toys because they remember them from their childhood.
Just over the last couple months, I've collected maybe around 60 or 70 Build-A-Bears.
Adults and teens make up nearly half of Build-A-Bear sales.
This is the Halloween pumpkin kitty. He was an online exclusive, very popular for a very long time.
The kidult spending is also fueled by a release cycle of exclusive and licensed products.
I really love these Sanrio Build-A-Bears that I have, and I do plan to have more in the future.
Build-A-Bear also collaborates with brands like Pokemon, Stranger Things, Disney, Harry Potter, Marvel, and more.
We've created a microsite for some of these licenses called the Bear Cave, where it might be something like Deadpool Bear or Matrix Bear that's specifically designed for an adult.
Shoppers in the Bear Cave can also find more adult-themed items, like tiny plush martinis, Zaddy shirts, and this guy, a silver fox.
We have a tremendous opportunity to have a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek approach to things that are completely benign in many ways.
Online sales grew by 110% between 2019 and 2024.
I'm seeing a lot of stuff that I already had because I did just make a really big purchase. I have a really bad habit of when I'm shopping, not looking at the price tag. But I mean, if you cap in the outfits and the bear, like it's definitely between $500 and $700.
One of the cheapest bears available is the $16 Lil Cub Brownie teddy bear. But once you add a set of clothes, a sound, and an accessory, the total price shoots up to $50.
There's been times where I went into Build-A-Bear and just walked out with a bear, no outfit or anything. I mean, it is a really expensive hobby if you think about it. That's why I do enjoy thrifting a lot of the time, because there's been many times where I found a Build-A-Bear full outfit for like $3.99. It's really a good alternative to the store.
What's happening here?
Oh, I'm buying for my nephews and my mom.
I love that you're getting all of these pictures.
Toy companies, including Build-A-Bear, are considering raising prices to counter tariffs on goods imported from China and other countries.
For us, some of our plush would be very difficult to source elsewhere, so there's a tariff impact that is not possible to just completely overcome through any or all of the mechanisms that are available to us right now based on the current information. That tariff impact will stay.
Build-A-Bear says they expect to lose about $11 million in fiscal 2025 to costs related to tariffs.
Why are you building this bear today?
For my girlfriend.
For your girlfriend?
Yeah.
The Build-A-Bear experience of creating your own bear isn't something you're going to get somewhere else.
And you can also make a birth certificate over in the wait.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
If tariffs have added 10 or 12% to the overall cost to the consumer of the product, consumers are still not going to back away from that because it's the experience that they're buying.
Can you say thank you? Good job. We got a heartbeat. The last thing I can